According to the platform, I'm only seeing around 19 people. Colleagues, are supposed to be a whole lot, but let's hope people will be joining us very soon. If there are no apologies, I only have one. Rasi has reported that he might join us later because he had something to quickly attend to. So I hope by the time it's his items on the agenda, he will be with us. Colleagues, let's move to item number 3 on the agenda, which is purpose of the day. I think Mrs. Declare has already indicated some of the things that are part and parcel of our meeting today. The purpose, colleagues, is for our provincial chair who was selected at the Liasa conference early in October to formally introduce himself and also give us a presentation as to what are the plans and what is the current status of our branch, colleagues. Over to you, Mr. Mzwandile.
Good morning, colleagues. Good morning, and I just want to kindly ask Mr. Lisiba, please mute yourself, please, so that we can begin. Mr. Lisiba, you can mute yourself, please. Thank you very much. Colleagues, thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm not going to waste your time. I understand at 9 o'clock you'll be opening your doors for the public, so I need to respect that. So let me just go ahead and open my presentation. Please indicate if you can see my presentation. Let me just start sharing. Can you see my presentation with a thumbs up?
Not yet.
Not yet. That.
Okay, how about now?
Nothing.
Okay, let me just get out and try this way. Let me try it this way. Okay. While I'm doing that, let me also indicate that I'm just trying to go back to the presentation. Go to the presentation. Anything?
Nope.
No,
Nothing. Okay.
nothing.
Yeah. Technology is acting up.
Nothing.
Technology is showing me flames. Okay, let me just quickly, without wasting time, just change devices. Let's go back. Let me go back. Okay, share. Fish. Yeah, technology will show you flames sometimes. Let me share it again. Now I'm sharing it again. Can you see anything?
Yes, it's coming.
Nothing.
Thank you. Okay, colleagues,
On my side, it doesn't show.
now is it fine now?
Yes, you can see.
Okay,
On my side, it doesn't show anything.
I think maybe it's still loading. But let me continue. Okay, thank you very much, colleagues. And let me take this opportunity to really appreciate the fact that you did make time. I understand some of the colleagues are using their own data to come in, and we really do apologize, understanding the infrastructure struggles that you may be encountering. It's quite an important journey that we are actually embarking on. And I would really, really, really appreciate that, colleagues, if we can invest into data for our own development, and so that we also move along with the trends, and then we are not left behind. I think as a Free State, it is now that we are trying to catch a bus, the bus that is moving, and as Liasa, Free State, we want to make sure that we are moving with the whole country and the world entirely. So my purpose today is just to give you a briefing, from, if you can remember, those who managed to attend our previous session, which was held on the 12th of July 2024, where we did actually promise that we're going to come back after establishing the committee and the subcommittee that we came up with, so that we can gear ahead with our revival of PECLIC. So I just want to actually inform everyone that since the new adoption of the constitution of Liasa, we do not have interest groups anymore, but we have portfolios or chairpersons of provinces. So now, PECLIC would now be referred to as a PACL, which is Public and Community Libraries. So before, we used to have PECLIC as Public and Community Library Interest Group. So now we do not have interest groups, we now have provincial chairpersons. So that's why you see the abbreviation there, PACL. So, colleagues, after we've been working in and out, and with the colleagues who actually came on board and said, Zwandile, we want to be part of this. We want to ensure that Liasa, it is revived, and also Liasa can assist the province in actually paving a way forward. So we joined hands and we worked under pressure. We worked even at night. We had night meetings, even though they were not comfortable, but because colleagues were determined to do so, we were doing that. So today I'm just going to present the entire structure of the Free State Liasa PECLIC, and therefore I will also take you through to our action plan that you colleagues are going to participate in. The action plans that we have designed is a document for all of you, but this document is going to be more participative for colleagues, giving yourself an opportunity to be on the stage, to actually interact actively on Liasa. Let's go ahead. Now, our vision, colleagues, it is a vision that actually has been copy and pasted from our mother body, which is to also create a dynamic association for excellence in the LIS sector. Our mission, colleagues, is just straightforward, is to ensure that we create that platform where as LIS professionals, we can connect and ensure that we promote, the development of South Africans through access to information. Now, as the Liasa professional body, it's our mission to make sure that LIS professionals are actually well equipped in terms of skill, to carry out that mandate, which is a constitutional mandate to free access to information. And in doing so, we'll be helping our employer to actually achieve the same goal, which is also stated even on the national, on the South African Constitution. Now, from that, guys, we derived certain objectives that we thought that we need to have our own objectives in order for us to gear forward. So one of those objectives is to promote and improve information and knowledge sharing amongst libraries and information service workers in the Free State Provincial Library Services. Now, Provincial Library Services colleagues, we don't only speak about the public librarians or public library staff that are only belonging to the province, but we also have the municipalities that we also working with. It's actually 3 municipalities. It's Maluti Apofung, Mangaung, and also the Ditlhabeng that are still holding the service and servicing the people on behalf of the province. So we want to ensure that we promote and improve that space. Also to strengthen the department capacity building initiatives by encouraging library workers to participate in Liasa. Now, colleagues, now we have reached the end of the year. It's November now. Next month is December. We want to see you colleagues being members of Liasa and participating effectively on Liasa. We know majority of you colleagues, you are so talented, you are so skilled that no one has ever given you an opportunity. This is the platform where you're going to participate on a national platform and sharing that knowledge that you have. Not only that, we open doors to people with knowledge, but we also want to upskill. There's other colleagues that they needed a chance. There's other colleagues that they want to be part of this. And we are opening doors for everyone. All the LIS workers in the Free State must be part of us, and then they must enjoy the same leverage of this platform. We also want to market and advocate the Free State Provincial Library Services work amongst LIS and also share with Liasa In Touch and other publications. I think, colleagues, you would have learned that myself and Rasi and other colleagues, we've been editing. Chairperson, just assist me. Someone is making noise. I don't know who the person is making noise. Can you kindly assist me on that one?
Colleagues, can we please ensure that we mute ourselves until the chairperson is done with his address, please, colleagues.
Okay, thank you. Now we want to ensure that, colleagues, whatever that you are doing on the grassroots level, it is also seen on the national and international space. Hence, we were sharing those articles with you. Those articles are also shared with Liasa. Those articles are shared with our president in order to share it with other platforms as well. I just want to indicate something very interesting about these colleagues. You know the job that we do as Free State Ntwela library workers, colleagues, it is actually more than what you think that other provinces are doing. We are doing great. But the problem is that we are not sharing that information with other people in a form of writing a short piece of an article, few photos that we can share. I understand that we don't have a social network to do so, but let me assure you that as PECLIC subcommittee, which I will share the members with, we have managed to have a social media page, which is the Facebook page, that you will be able to share everything, and we will make sure that you are there even on the publications of Liasa, where the Liasa On Touch gets to be published quarterly, and we want to also take those articles even further. And we will be at a later stage introducing you into ensuring that how best can you start up the practice of writing articles that will be presented at a later stage. Also, another objective is to encourage visibility and showcase Free State Libraries' work. This is what I was talking about. That we want to take the work that you do on a daily basis, the impact that you make in the community on a daily basis, and we put it out there. It must be out there. So in order for you, colleagues, to ensure that you are really practicing as a professional in the library space, as a librarian in the library space, as an assistant librarian in the library space, as a library assistant, as a general worker in the library space, you must be a member of LIASA. Now, some of you, I know, they don't know what is LIASA, what is that and that and that. Let me put it in simple terms for you. Security guards, they don't practice their security work or apply for a job to be security in a particular firm or field if they do not have that that certificate that they pay annually. That is their professional body that they get to assign to. Doctors also have a practice number where a doctor, you cannot go to a doctor and consult and then come back and only to find the doctor doesn't have a practice number. That doctor is a fake doctor. So as a LIASA, we are also in the process of ensuring that we get our own practice number so that anyone else who's going to come in to our profession must have a professional number, must have a professional practice, and we are there. And I just want to share with you what the president of LIASA, Mr. Charlie Malope, said to us, that there is actually a link that I will share with you maybe at a later stage to say, whether you're a library assistant or assistant librarian or a librarian, you need to forward your CV and the qualifications that you have and the years of experience on the service in order for you to be granted the professional designation status. So it means that you do not have to say, because I'm still studying or I haven't done this and that, but you have an opportunity to submit those documents in order to be actually accredited. But where the direction in which we are moving forward with is the fact that you must be a LIASA member. And I want to say, guys, the 750 individual membership, you can pay it once off or in a period of 3 months without gaps. So now we are in November. You can start now planning and preparing, to join LIASA. And I want you to join it not in a sense to say what LIASA will do for me. No, join it with the sense that I want to participate effectively in my profession. You might have not studied into library science, but the mere fact that you are in the library space, you must own the space and say, I'm in this practice and I've been practicing for so many years. I need to be recognized as a professional. Now, we have came up with the pillars that actually we have put. It's 4 pillars that are going to build this mention of ours of LIASA public library and community, public and community libraries. It's also, we want to ensure that there is best practice in the province coming from you, colleagues. We will be supporting you on that one. We'll be supporting the department, the library services, the municipalities will be supporting all of you, whether it's AGM, whether it's on the practices on the ground. Encourage librarians to engage in research, presenting papers, writing articles, writing, papers. Colleagues, next year, LIASA is going to be in Port Elizabeth, Quebec. Now, the setup is going to change. Now, since the setup is going to change, we're going to have a separate sessions that we as public libraries will be given a space to present. And I, as a chairperson, I would wish that we can cloud that space where we have public librarians or public library staff emanating from the public presenting at that continental podium. I want to see that, and we will make sure that we support you. We'll make sure that we engage the municipalities and the department to provide that support. And then also, lastly, is to support library staff who are studying LIS studies. So we'll make sure that you indicate to us that you are doing LIS, and then so that we can assist. Now, this is actually a working committee. Now, the working committee consists of myself as a chairperson, and then I have Mr. Julius Mkize as a secretary, and the two additional members, which is Ms. Diklari Mabike and Elias Rasisemula. Now, these are the guys that when we started to work with and try to revive Pet League, Medicare at the time, she was a chairperson, and she recruited all of us to make sure that this platform is active. And we pushed, and all thanks to her. I wish you can give her a round of applause. She did well. The reason why I'm here today as your chairperson is because of her and Julius, who actually came to me and said, Mzwandile, please come in. And also, I fetched Elias, and then I robbed Elias in and say, Elias, come in, let's work. So thank you, Medical. Now, this is our subcommittee. Now, this subcommittee is individual members who actually come on board on the 12th of July to say we want to be part of this. And they had to select the chairperson, the deputy, the secretary, and the deputy secretary. Now, I want to indicate this. Actually, I'm going to be resigning from the post of the secretary so that I can allow other colleagues to step in into the secretary position, so that at that time there was no one who wanted to take the secretary. So I just came in and said I can be able to assist. But I will talk to the chairperson of the subcommittee to see to it that someone else can be appointed into that space so that I can focus on the provincial chairperson duties. Now, these are our targets, colleagues. The targets that we set for ourselves as the working committee is that there is a target that it is set for me as a chairperson by Liasa. Now, Liasa hasn't yet came to me with those targets as yet, hence you see the question marks. And then below, you will see the Q1 and 2, it's Q1, Q2, and then Q3, it's Q3 and Q4. Now, when we started to revive Liasa, and when it comes to membership in the province under public libraries interest group, we only had 16 paid up members who are Liasa members. But after we came on board, Q3, when we started working in July, I remember it was July when we started to be active. Since July and up to now, we have managed to attract 27 new members who are fully paid up. And I think, colleagues, we should give this a round of applause. We actually did a great job. It quite double the number that we have put it there, of us reaching the 43%. And we are planning, colleagues, in this WhatsApp, the WhatsApp group that we have for the Free State. If you are not part of it, make sure that you are part of it. It's 130 members in that WhatsApp group. We would want to see ourselves achieving by next year 100 members who are paid up. And not only 100 members, but plus 100 members coming from the public service. And knowing that we are about 800 and something according to the department's total annual plan in terms of compensation, I believe we can reach the 800 figure, but we just set the 100 as a target. So which means we can add even more than that. And then another thing is that attending Liasa conference as a working committee, we made sure that we look for funding, and we found ourselves a funding to send Estelle to Liasa. Hence, you see one there, and we did a great job. And we are planning that, colleagues, come next year, Liasa, we want to send 2 to 6 people to Liasa, and the funding doesn't come from the department. This is our Liasa funding, which we will source funding ourselves and talk to potential donors who can assist us on that one. My plan and wish is that I want to take everyone who never attended Liasa before next year. It's something that I'm going to see to it that with the portfolio managers responsible for fundraising, how we can go about that. But that is not a target that I'm setting, but the target that I'm setting up for myself and the working team is that we want to see ourselves reaching up to 6 people that we are taking to Liasa. And then on the public librarians presenting provincially, colleagues, remember I said this platform is for you. You'll be given an opportunity to present. So we are planning now. We only had Estelle who did a presentation on the national platform and the continental, where she did a presentation in September. I think it was the 26th of September. Estelle gave us actually, the journey that she took through pre and post 1994. So we are planning to have 20 more presentations that are going to come from you, colleagues. No one else are going to come from you, and anyone who's interested, having a certain expertise, we are expecting that, colleagues, you have a platform. We will assist you in order to take part in. And then lastly, we are also this year in this quarter, I managed to do a presentation at Liasa level, hence you see one. But next year, we are planning that we are going to have 2 to 6 people presenting at a national and continental platform in the Liasa conference. Now, colleagues, these are the portfolios that we came up with. Now, these portfolios, colleagues, are going to address the challenges that we face and provide some sort of a solution on the professional basis in terms of skills development, in terms of knowledge sharing and understanding. So these portfolios we came up with and said we want to tackle every aspect within the Free State public libraries and ensure that we upskill all of us, colleagues, all of us, we develop, all of us, we grow within ourselves, and we provide that platform so that you do not expect to be recognized elsewhere, but you are recognized within the profession, within the professional body that you belong to, the professional body that you are a member to. So we have marketing and advocacy, collection development, best practices, AI and digital transformation trends. Guys, we need to move with the trends. So even if our employer is not moving, but in terms of skills, knowledge, and mentorship, we must be moving. By the time things are getting better, we are equipped. We are now smart librarians or smart library staff that are actually performing at the grassroots level. By the time this new technology arrives, we are way advanced than it will. We will be dwelling with the research and innovation. There's a lot of research we can do amongst ourselves. In your own libraries, colleagues, there's a lot of research. So there's a lot of research that we can do, and we must not always be at a stage where we wait for colleagues from academic sector to come and do research and ask us questions, and then after leave and get the masters and their doctorates or present at the international level. But we must be at a point where we can do the same research for ourselves, and then we also be our own flagship. We'll look into library activities and projects, and also we'll look into career development and enhancement. The last portfolio is fundraising and partnership. So let me go into details quickly. Now, marketing and advocacy, it is headed by Miss Virginia Kekana. Now, Miss Virginia Kekana, she's a principal librarian at Lijolo Putswa. You will know her. These are the activities that she will be actually engaging on. Don't worry about the details. I'm going to share this presentation with you in the group. So if you are not in the group, so make sure that you are in the group with us colleagues. Now, the second portfolio is collection development, which is going to be headed by two chairpersons, which is Miss Mepopi and Meshia. Mepopi, she's, if I'm correct, she's a librarian at Kronstadt, or library assistant at Kronstadt. I will get that correct. And then Meshia, she's a principal librarian at Motel. So all the people that you will see here, colleagues, some of them are your supervisors, some of them are your colleagues. So below are activities that they will be engaging on. Best practice is headed by Elias Rasesemola. Elias Rasesemola is a principal librarian at Fezile Dabi district. So he will be actually, there is an upcoming webinar that he has organized on best practices, professionalism, and customer care. So it's going to be on the 12th of November. So please make sure that you are part of that. Make sure that you engage into those activities that we're going to have. Then another portfolio is AI, which means artificial intelligence and digital transformation trend, which is headed by Smiso Ngulwane. Now, Smiso is a principal librarian under Muteo at the special library in Bloemfontein. So these are the activities indicated that it will be tackling. The other portfolio is research and innovation, which will be headed by Walter and also Ms. Diklare. Now, Mrs. Diklare, she's a library assistant at Silosecha Public Library, and Mr. Walter is a principal librarian under Professional Services Research Unit. The next portfolio is library activities, projects, and programs. It's headed by Mrs. Portia. Now, Mrs. Portia, she's a librarian under Mangaung Libraries. So she will be heading this portfolio. Career development enhancements, it's a portfolio that is going to be headed by myself, which for those who do not know me, my name is Mzwandile Khatebe, and I'm a principal librarian in Thabo Futsanyana district. Now, lastly, it's a portfolio that is going to report direct to my office as a chairperson, which is fundraising and partnership. And this portfolio, I'm going to take it out because it's going to be the portfolio that we are going to look for funding for us to be able to take people to Liasa, for us to be able to do activities, for us to be able to do programs, for us to be able to support those who will be doing presentations and so forth. At this point in time, the key aspect, we want to take 2 to 3 new people who never been to Liasa. That is apart from the 12 that is sent by the province and the 10 that is sent from the municipalities, those who do send. So this 2 to 6, it's our people, but the whole bigger, idea is to take as many as possible to Liasa, members who never attended. And please make sure, colleagues, we'll be looking at members who are going to renew their membership or register with the start of the year. Even if you will pay in 3 months, but as long January, you start your payments February, March, you are done, you are a fully fledged member. Those are going to be some of the criteria that we will use when we allocate some of this. So we also planning that we want to celebrate the Librarians Day in a form of a conference. So this portfolio is going to look into that, where we can get funding in order to fund these activities so that we can bring all library staff in the same venue. So this is not going to be in relations to the AGM and what. Remember, the AGM is for the province. It's organized by the province. But this is going to be organized by the Free State Public and Community Libraries chairperson role. So this portfolio will be looking into getting us money and partnership. Now, in conclusion, colleagues, I just want to say, for you to feel alive in your profession, in your working space, you need to participate effectively. The output that you put down to the colleagues and the inputs and everything and the effort that you waste and the effort that you gave it out, you need to be able to capture it into a form of an impact. And for us colleagues to be motivated and be part of this and feel great at work and want to wake up and go to work, not that you wake up because you want to pay bills, not that you wake up because you are waiting for retirement. We must participate so that we can, so that you can leave a legacy, so that people can remember you, so that you can, leave a signature behind, in your community, in your library, in the profession. So this is what we want to do. We want to see people active. We want you guys not to be miserable to say the employer is not giving us the tools of trade, but we want to also say, yes, with the little resources that we are having, with the little resources that we have, let's make sure that we rally behind each other and and assist each other in terms of knowledge sharing. Also, to ensure that, libraries are not only, a place of knowledge, but also a gateway for community and innovation and also lifelong learning. We want to also embrace new trends in librarianship, and we want to make sure when we talk of AI, what is it that we're talking about so that you can go along with it? When we talk of digitization, there's a digital transformation team that is working. You need to know what is happening there. And they will be doing a presentation to you guys at a later stage. So I just want to say thank you very much, colleagues. Let's be together. Let's hold hands, and then so that we can build a greater a career amongst ourselves, so that we can shake hands well, rather than having to share frustrations. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you so much, Mzwandile. I don't know how are we doing in terms of time on the platform.
We are left with 11. We are left with 11 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we'll have enough time for questions and answers. Maybe can we then say for that one, can it be directed to the WhatsApp group?
I think we can go ahead with questions. We have 14 minutes left. We can go ahead.
Or 14?
Yeah, 14.
Oh, okay. No, okay. Colleagues, thank you, Chair, for your address. And I think it is pretty much clear what direction we want to take. And we are hoping that colleagues will indeed participate productively as members of LIASA, and will use LIASA to make noise as Free State Province public and community libraries. Without wasting time, Dihlare, can you please assist us with questions and answers or comments if there are any? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, our new chairperson. The presentation was straightforward and so much information. Colleagues, like the chairperson said, you don't have all these questions, comments, suggestions, or any other thing that you have in your mind. And while I'm still waiting for the hands, I just want to reiterate on what the president has said about celebrating Librarians Day. I've been wondering why is it that we don't celebrate ourselves enough. So thank you, President, for that. And then the other thing is leaving a signature. In the writing stage, we call it you will never die. Because when you write something, like the President has alluded, when you write something, it will be there years, years and years and years after you have passed on. So President, big up. So any hand? Chairperson, I don't see any hand. So with your permission, can you continue? If there's any hand like you alluded, I might forward them to our WhatsApp group. Or you can write in the chat also. Chairperson, I'm waiting on your call.
I'm with you.
Okay, Chair.
So we don't have any hands or comments.
Chairperson, if I may say before we give back to you, I was here wondering about the fundraising President has said. President, you know, as Black people, we are so actively involved in our different stokvels. So I was thinking maybe, just maybe, can we do that rid of stock? We got music having brand a month. I don't know what the rest of the colleagues will say to that. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mary Clare. I think what we can do, we can have our own, not necessarily stokvels, but we can have our own fundraising, that we can do, so that we do a fundraising. Kizek, you can mute yourself, and Date Donald, please mute yourself. Thank you. So what we can do, colleagues, is that we can come up with a fundraising for ourselves to ensure that how much with Mr. Ndlovu. I think Mr. Ndlovu, who's responsible for the portfolio for the fundraising, is good in terms of coming up with those quotations that we're going to sit down and see how much that we will need in order for us to celebrate the Librarians Day. And we can have many of us coming in to celebrate that day. And another thing that maybe we can look into, people who want to attend Liasa, how we can come up with a fundraising strategy so that we can afford. Because I will project that maybe this year's Liasa's conference, it will cost us around 8,000 rands, or around about 8,000 rand per person. And then remember, you need to be considerate when it comes to the issue of transport and accommodation. So those are the figures that I will ask the chairperson of that portfolio just to do a round estimates. And then if colleagues are geared up to put money aside, they can do so. There's an idea that VG want also shared to say, can we have for colleagues to be members and to gear on and share and be able to save up money to pay the membership, and they can do that on monthly basis. VG came up with a brilliant idea to say we can set up a stokvel account or an account that people can put in money, and then when the time now is for us to renew membership, then that money gets to be paid to Liasa. So those are the ideas that we can share.
Look at your person. Mr. Mkule, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Claire. Yeah, I think everything will be more clearer to everyone who joined or who joined later in this meeting. Our chair is going to give us direction, and obviously we need to support him and advise where possible. Colleagues, I'm not sure if Rasi is with us now. Is Rasi in already?
Yes, I'm here, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Over to you, Rasi.
All right, thanks a lot, Chairperson, and greeting to everyone in attendance today. Chairperson, in the interest of time, allow me to just address the two items assigned to me, way forward and closure. One, I think they spoke about the WhatsApp group for brainstorming. Colleagues, we have got targets for all the portfolios. So I understand that there might be a need, for assistance in terms of, to reach the targets assigned. Those targets set in the portfolios by the portfolio chairs were not set by the main chair, but they were set by the individual chairpersons of those certain portfolios. Now, December is approaching. There were targets that should have been met by that time. So let's push and see to it that at least half of those set targets are met. And that WhatsApp group is to assist individuals. And say, for instance, you want to brainstorm, you want some assistance. At times you need not, to say that you are the maker, you have got all the wisdoms. Now, the other chairpersons might assist, and they might even co-opt one person coming from a certain district, to do your presentation. So you need not to, scratch your head and think that everything you must, do by yourself. The other one, which is also very pertinent, is the issue of membership. Now, each of and every portfolio chair, each of and every individual in attendance today, we want to make a clarion call through, the provincial chair, that we try by all means to have our membership being renewed. We need to take advantage of that early bird registration. Now, we cannot go around and, try to galvanize support, convince people to join LIASA membership. Yet we ourselves have not, renewed the membership. So we need to set our targets, starting with ourselves. If need be, let's renew before the end of this year. Now, let's try to recruit people. I was talking to the provincial chair this morning to say, look, we need to, our target is 100. We need to have 100 new members, by 2025. How do you go about doing that? You have got people in a form of your library clerks, in a form of general workers who are studying, towards this profession of LIS. So you try to bring in those people, and we need to make sure that in all the portfolio chairs, we try to rope in the same people, starting from the general workers. There would be topics that are relevant for general workers. Also in my portfolio, best LIS best practices. It might be possible that I may, request someone from another district. You have got a shining star somewhere in Harib, in Muteo, in Jelibuzwa, in Thabo Mofusanyana. I might request through you, because I wouldn't know the people that are, shining stars in your area. You might say, Rasi, I've got this person, and in your portfolio, I think that would be relevant. So we're not going to crash or thwart any plans. So we'll try to work around it. That is why that part of brainstorming is very important. So don't stay with the information. We try to work in synergy. We try to work as a team. Now, the third one is LIS articles. Now, provincial chair spoke, very much, and this one, he ran that portfolio of secretary with a distinction, because many of you have seen the articles that were, published there. They had to go through him. There were times he would call at midnight and say, Rasi, I'm still working on this document written by this person somewhere. We have seen a plethora of documents being sent in there. He led by example. This year, out of many years, we have had a presentation in the IASA conference at national level, where Mzadili was presenting, and the support from the province, people who were in attendance for that IASA conference came into supporting. We were, shoulder to shoulder with him. We gave him confidence. So it could be you, it could be one of your staff member coming from a different district. We are saying at least next year, we need to have a candidate for best, a librarian of the year. those portfolios, those awards, we need to have people represented there. Now, the other one is the issue of request to be acknowledged as LIS professionals. Colleagues, once you are a BIASA member, you need to try to submit your request, and Aphelele Mzimande is the one responsible for approving those professional. In fact, you do your submission through him because he's the one responsible for LIASA training and development. Is the coordinator for that training. Right, you do your submission, you will get a certificate. I think it lasts, I'm not sure, I think it lasts between a year or two. You will get that certificate once you do the submission. We have got, okay, the fifth one is the issue of best practices. Colleagues, each of every portfolio chair, we need to try to galvanize and get more people to attend the presentation that will be done on the 12th of November, which is this month. It is actually LIS best practices. That's the one I'm sharing. So the topic for that presentation will be providing services by exercising professionalism and customer service in the public libraries. So I had to source the speaker from Limpopo, and so we spoke lengthily, when we started to revive, this PEGLIP group. Say, look, we need to have interprovincial and intra-provincial presentations, the speakers. You can source, any person somewhere. You can source from the district. You can source from the province. You can source outside, the province. Even if you've got friends outside the country, source them. We need to share those knowledge. So I'm making a clarion call that, guys, please ensure that you are registered. The Librarians Day, Chairperson.
Rati, you are left with 10 seconds. Is gonna close now.
Thanks a lot. I'll just leave this one outside. Colleagues, let me do the last item, which is closure. Let me appreciate everyone in attendance today. I saw some of the library clerks were here, the stroke library assistants. I've seen many new people in the group. Colleagues, we need you here every time we request. Please try to come and attend the sessions. We appreciate all the time that you have allocated today to be with us, and please, we want you to attend, future meetings. Chairperson, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Rasi. I think we can officially close the meeting. For further information,